I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able. This would be a crisis for elder care. This would be a crisis for disability services. What it is, when a nation isn't taking care of its elders, it's a crisis of our national character. Why are so many women dying in childbirth and in the postpartum period in America? Shameful. And now, I just found out that the community violence intervention money that you allowed me to fight so hard to get into that bill is being clawed back by Donald Trump. They're writing me letters with words like fear and terror. They're talking about staying up at night and not being able to sleep because they don't have a president that comforts them. I mean, it's almost like you can't make this up, honestly. Another story from a Social Security employee in New Jersey. I am a claims representative for our Social Security field office. The most dramatic changes I've noticed from our recent change in operations is that our appointment calendar seems to be filling up more quickly for simple post-entitlement changes. We've gone through healthcare cuts. We've gone through Social Security being attacked and undermined and slashed. If you're revoking somebody's visa, make a phone call, tell them that you have 30 days to leave. But there should be due process. You should have to prove your claims in court. If this person is somehow lying with some kind of enemy, prove it. You don't need more tax cuts. And we as a society have an obligation to each other, to those farmers, to those rural folks, to the cops I stood with at the funeral of one of their colleagues in Newark 2 weeks ago. Our Social Security offices are being closed already. And the question of why? Under the guise of efficiency, but you're hurting our elders who deserve dignity in their retirement. It's stunning to me. I've had farmers from New Jersey to Texas coming to my office about this president freezing contracts that we approved in a bipartisan manner, putting them in financial crisis. It's not right or left, it's right or wrong. It's not a partisan moment, it's an American moment. It's a moral moment. Does the wealth of our people, we have more billionaires than any other country, does that speak to the greatness of our nation? No. I think the things that speak to the greatness of a nation is how do we take care of each other? I ask you, are you better off than you were 72 days ago economically? I ask that question. Ask it to your friends. Are they better off economically? Well, I don't see how they could be because prices are up, stock market's down, the risk of recession is climbing, consumer confidence is in the gutter. I want to stand here today and tell you I'm going to do everything I can. I'm willing to go to some lengths. But I am inadequate. You are inadequate. We're senators with all of this power, but in this democracy, the power of the people is greater than the people in power. This is a moral moment that more Americans need to stand up and say enough is enough. Moment where judges rule in his favor, and he praises them. They just don't rule for him. He drags them and threatens them, so much so that Chief Justice of the Supreme Court has to tell them to back up. When elected officials, speak up, many of them fear what the consequences would be for them or their reelection if they speak against him.
What you just saw there is a small, and I mean very small, portion of the over 25-hour-long speech given by Senator Cory Booker, speaking out against Donald Trump's policies and how they affect swaths of Americans across the country. And this comes in a time when many people, including myself, have publicly questioned just how ready, willing, and able the Democratic Party is to fight and do whatever it possibly can to stand up to Donald Trump's administration that is cutting benefits for millions and millions of Americans across the country in order to give tax breaks to the rich. This was a very, very good showing for the Democratic Party and captured the attention of hundreds of thousands of people who tuned in to hear Senator Booker speak for hours and hours and hours against Donald Trump's MAGA agenda. We're going to look at a little bit of the details of just how he was able to accomplish this feat. But before we do that, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with someone who's into politics, and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let's head on over here to The Hill, where it gives us a little bit of details about how Booker was able to, just how he was able to accomplish this feat, beating Senator Thurmond's record, who was a segregationalist who had a 24-hour long speech. So Booker turns 56 this month, an age where many men cannot avoid going to the bathroom during the middle of the night of an 8-hour sleep. But Booker did not use the bathroom for the entirety of his speech. After it was over, he said he allowed himself to be dehydrated to get through the speech. Again, I don't want my doctor to be mad at me, but I really spent time dehydrating myself beforehand, so I did not have to go to the bathroom. My challenge was that my strategy was to stop eating. I think I stopped eating on Friday, and then to stop drinking the night before I started on Monday, and that has its benefits and it really has its downsides. So instead of fighting or figuring out how to go to the bathroom, I ended up, I really think, unfortunately, dehydrating myself. Booker didn't eat the entire time he was on the Senate floor, blasting Trump's policies, sparking chatter that he should run for president in 2028 for a second time. Booker previously was a candidate in 2020. He actually stopped eating food days earlier on Friday. I fasted for days into it. I stopped drinking water a long time ago. I think that had its good and bad benefits. I definitely started cramping up from a lack of water, Booker told reporters. So if some of you saw me really drink nothing at the end, that was just trying to stop my muscles from cramping. So, wow, oh wow, bravo, Senator Booker, bravo for this absolutely astounding showing of endurance, fortitude, and resolve with the American people, sacrificing his own health to deliver this marathon speech that blocked all business on the Senate floor during its time, and again captured the attention of hundreds of thousands of American people who are clamoring for the Democratic Party to do anything, fight Trump in whatever way you possibly can. Do not appease the president, do not appease the Republican Party and attempt to negotiate with them and vote with them on partisan spending bills that get us nothing, but fight and do things even if they are symbolic. In this day and age in America, symbolism and style often is more important than substance, right? Donald Trump has taught us that time and time again, that style is more important than substance. And look no further than the 2024 campaign, when the Harris and Walz campaign constantly was giving the American people substance in their talking points and in their policies, but it was not enough to win out over Donald Trump and his style of politics, his brash style, populist style. So here's the blueprint, Democrats. Here it is. The American people want you to fight Donald Trump, speak out against Donald Trump's MAGA agenda and how it is affecting millions and millions of people, and do not go any further to the right in an attempt to capitulate and satisfy voters on the right, that this mythical voter that the Democrats think is out there that's just waiting for the Democratic Party to be a little bit more conservative, and then they'll go and vote for Democrats. No, we are in a very, very perilous time in American democracy where we could see our American democracy slip away. And we could see things like food stamps and Social Security, things that people rely on to not go hungry and to keep a roof over their head, slip away in what would be a disaster for the people who need the help the most in our country. So bravo, Booker, for doing what many, many Americans have been clamoring for Democrats to do, and injecting and rejuvenating Democratic voters and the Democratic Party at large across the country. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with someone who's into politics. Take care. Peace.